Psalms 1 through 33 of the Holy Bible, American Standard Version. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Psalm 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the wicked, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of Jehovah, and on his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the streams of water, that bringeth forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also doth not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The wicked are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the wicked shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For Jehovah knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked shall perish. End of Psalm 1. Psalm 2. Why do the nations rage, and the peoples meditate a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Jehovah, and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bonds asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens will laugh, the Lord will have them in derision. Then will he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will tell of the decree. Jehovah said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I will give thee the nations for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces, like a potter's vessel. Now therefore be wise, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve Jehovah with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish in the way, for his wrath will soon be kindled. Blessed are all they that take refuge in him. End of Psalm 2. Psalm 3. A psalm of David when he fled from Absalom his son. Jehovah, how are mine adversaries increased? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there are that say of my soul, There is no help for him in God. Selah. But thou, O Jehovah, art a shield about me, my glory, and the lifter up of my head. I cry unto Jehovah with my voice, and he answereth me out of his holy hill. Selah. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for Jehovah sustaineth me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of the people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Jehovah, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the wicked. Salvation belongeth unto Jehovah. Thy blessing be upon thy people. Selah. End of Psalm 3. Psalm 4. For the chief musician, on stringed instruments, a psalm of David. Answer me when I call, O God of my righteousness. Thou hast set me at large when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me, and hear my prayer. O ye sons of men, how long shall my glory be turned into dishonor? How long will ye love vanity, and seek after falsehood? Selah. But know that Jehovah hath set apart for himself him that is godly. Jehovah will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe, and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed, and be still. Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness, and put your trust in Jehovah. Many there are that say, Who will show us any good? Jehovah, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, more than they have when their grain and their new wine are increased. In peace will I both lay me down and sleep, for thou, Jehovah, alone makest me dwell in safety. End of Psalm 4. Psalm 5. For the chief musician, with the Nehiloth, a psalm of David. Give ear to my words, O Jehovah, consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my God, for unto thee do I pray. O Jehovah, in the morning shalt thou hear my voice. In the morning will I order my prayer unto thee, and will keep watch. For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness. Evil shall not sojourn with thee. The arrogant shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Thou wilt destroy them that speak lies. Jehovah abhorreth the bloodthirsty and deceitful man. But as for me, in the abundance of thy loving kindness will I come into thy house. In thy fear will I worship toward thy holy temple. Lead me, O Jehovah, in thy righteousness because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. Hold them guilty, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Thrust them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. But let all those that take refuge in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. For thou wilt bless the righteous. O Jehovah, thou wilt compass him with favor as with a shield. End of Psalm 5. Psalm 6. For the chief musician on stringed instruments, set to the Sheminith, a psalm of David. O Jehovah, rebuke me not in thine anger, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. Have mercy upon me, O Jehovah, for I am withered away. O Jehovah, heal me, for my bones are troubled. My soul also is sore troubled. And thou, O Jehovah, how long? Return, O Jehovah, deliver my soul. Save me for thy loving kindness' sake. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In Sheol who shall give thee thanks? I am weary with my groaning. Every night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Mine eye wasteth away because of grief. It waxeth old because of all mine adversaries. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity, for Jehovah hath heard the voice of my weeping. Jehovah hath heard my supplication. Jehovah will receive my prayer. All mine enemies shall be put to shame and sore troubled. They shall turn back. They shall be put to shame suddenly. End of Psalm 6. Psalm 7. Shigaion of David, which he sang unto Jehovah concerning the words of Cush, a Benjamite. O Jehovah my God, in thee do I take refuge. Save me from all them that pursue me, and deliver me, lest they tear my soul like a lion, rending it in pieces, while there is none to deliver. O Jehovah my God, if I have done this, if there be iniquity in my hands, if I have rewarded evil unto him that was at peace with me, yea, I have delivered him that without cause was mine adversary, Let the enemy pursue my soul and overtake it. Yea, let him tread my life down to the earth, and lay my glory in the dust. Selah. Arise, O Jehovah, in thine anger, lift up thyself against the rage of mine adversaries, and awake for me, thou hast commanded judgment. And let the congregation of the peoples compass thee about, and over them return thou on high. Jehovah ministereth judgment to the peoples. Judge me, O Jehovah, according to my righteousness, and to mine integrity that is in me. O let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish thou the righteous. For the righteous God trieth the minds and hearts. My shield is with God, who saveth the upright in heart. God is a righteous judge, yea, a God that hath indignation every day. If a man turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow, and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He maketh his arrows fiery shafts. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity. Yea, he hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. He hath made a pit, and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violence shall come down upon his own pate. I will give thanks unto Jehovah according to his righteousness, and will sing praise to the name of Jehovah Most High. End of Psalm 7. Psalm 8. For the chief musician, set to the gittith, a psalm of David. O Jehovah our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who hast set thy glory upon the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou established strength because of thine adversaries, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained, what is man, that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that thou visitest him? For thou hast made him but little lower than God, and crownest him with glory and honor. Thou makest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, yea, and the beasts of the field, the birds of the heavens, and the fish of the sea, whatsoever passeth through the paths of the seas, O Jehovah our Lord. How excellent is thy name in all the earth. End of Psalm 8. Psalm 9. For the chief musician, set to Muthlabben, a psalm of David. I will give thanks unto Jehovah with my whole heart. I will show forth all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and exult in thee. I will sing praise to thy name, O thou Most High. When mine enemies turn back, they stumble and perish at thy presence. For thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou sittest in the throne judging righteously. Thou hast rebuked the nations, thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast blotted out their name for ever and ever. The enemy are come to an end, they are desolate for ever. And the cities which thou hast overthrown, the very remembrance of them is perished. But Jehovah sitteth as king for ever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment, and he will judge the world in righteousness. He will minister judgment to the peoples in uprightness. Jehovah also will be a high tower for the oppressed, a high tower in times of trouble, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Jehovah, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. Sing praises to Jehovah, who dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people his doings. For he that maketh inquisition for blood remembereth them. He forgetteth not the cry of the poor. Have mercy upon me, O Jehovah. Behold my affliction, which I suffer of them that hate me. Thou that liftest me up from the gates of death, that I may show forth all thy praise. In the gates of the daughter of Zion I will rejoice in thy salvation. The nations are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. Jehovah hath made himself known. He hath executed judgment. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion, Selah. The wicked shall be turned back unto Sheol, even all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not alway be forgotten, nor the expectation of the poor perish forever. Arise, O Jehovah, let not man prevail. Let the nations be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Jehovah. Let the nations know themselves to be but men. Selah. End of Psalm 9. Psalm 10. Why standest thou afar off, O Jehovah? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? In the pride of the wicked the poor is hotly pursued. Let them be taken in the devices that they have conceived. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and the covetous renounceth, yea, contemneth Jehovah. The wicked in the pride of his countenance saith, he will not require it. All his thoughts are, there is no God. His ways are firm at all times. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his adversaries, he puffeth at them. He saith in his heart, I shall not be moved. To all generations I shall not be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and oppression. Under his tongue is mischief and iniquity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the helpless. He lurketh in secret as a lion in his covert. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him in his net. He croucheth, he boweth down, and the helpless fall by his strong ones. He saith in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. Arise, O Jehovah, O God, lift up thy hand, forget not the poor. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn God, and say in his heart, Thou wilt not require it? Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, to requite it with thy hand. The helpless committeth himself unto thee. Thou hast been the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked, and as for the evil man, seek out his wickedness till thou find none. Jehovah is king for ever and ever. The nations are perished out of his land. Jehovah, thou hast heard the desire of the meek. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that man who is of the earth may be terrible no more. End of Psalm 10. Psalm 11. For the chief musician, a psalm of David. In Jehovah do I take refuge. How say ye to my soul, Flee as a bird to your mountain? For lo, the wicked bend the bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may shoot in darkness at the upright in heart. If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Jehovah is in his holy temple. Jehovah his throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. Jehovah trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hateth. Upon the wicked he will rain snares. Fire and brimstone and burning wind shall be the portion of their cup. For Jehovah is righteous, he loveth righteousness. The upright shall behold his face. End of Psalm 11. Psalm 12. For the chief musician, set to the Sheminith, a psalm of David. Help, Jehovah, for the godly man ceaseth, for the faithful fail from among the children of men. They speak falsehood, every one with his neighbor. With flattering lip and with a double heart do they speak. Jehovah will cut off all flattering lips, the tongue that speaketh great things, who have said, With our tongue will we prevail, our lips are our own, who is Lord over us? Because of the oppression of the poor, because of the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith Jehovah. I will set him in the safety he panteth for. The words of Jehovah are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace on the earth, purified 7 times. Thou wilt keep them, O Jehovah, thou wilt preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side, when vileness is exalted among the sons of men. End of Psalm 12. Psalm 13. For the chief musician, a psalm of David. How long, O Jehovah, wilt thou forget me forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart all the day? How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Jehovah my God. Lighten mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest mine enemy say, I have prevailed against him. Lest mine adversaries rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy loving kindness. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto Jehovah, because he hath dealt bountifully with me. End of Psalm 13. Psalm 14. For the chief musician, a psalm of David. The fool hath said in his heart, There is no God. They are corrupt, they have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Jehovah looked down from heaven upon the children of men, to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek after God. They are all gone aside, they are together become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon Jehovah? There were they in great fear, for God is in the generation of the righteous. Ye put to shame the counsel of the poor, because Jehovah is his refuge. O that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion! When Jehovah bringeth back the captivity of his people, then shall Jacob rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. End of Psalm 14. Psalm 15. A psalm of David. Jehovah, who shall sojourn in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? He that walketh uprightly, and worketh righteousness, and speaketh truth in his heart. He that slandereth not with his tongue, nor doeth evil to his friend, nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor, in whose eyes a reprobate is despised, but who honoureth them that fear Jehovah, he that sweareth to his own hurt, and changeth not. He that putteth not out his money to interest, nor taketh reward against the innocent. He that doeth these things shall never be moved. End of Psalm 15. Psalm 16. Miktam of David. Preserve me, O God, for in thee do I take refuge. O my soul, thou hast said unto Jehovah, Thou art my Lord. I have no good beyond thee. As for the saints that are in the earth, they are the excellent, in whom is all my delight. Their sorrows shall be multiplied that give gifts for another god. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take their names upon my lips. Jehovah is the portion of mine inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintainest my lot. The lines are fallen unto me in pleasant places. Yea, I have a goodly heritage. I will bless Jehovah, who hath given me counsel. Yea, my heart instructeth me in the night seasons. I have set Jehovah always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall dwell in safety. For thou wilt not leave my soul to Sheol, neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. In thy right hand there are pleasures for evermore. End of Psalm 16. Psalm 17. A Prayer of David. Hear the right, O Jehovah, attend unto my cry. Give ear unto my prayer, that goeth not out of feigned lips. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes look upon equity. Thou hast proved my heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me, and findest nothing. I am purposed that my mouth shall not transgress. As for the works of men, by the word of thy lips I have kept me from the ways of the violent. My steps have held fast to thy paths. My feet have not slipped. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt answer me, O God. Incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous loving-kindness. O thou that savest by thy right hand them that take refuge in thee from those that rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me, my deadly enemies that compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They set their eyes to cast us down to the earth. He is like a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Jehovah, confront him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked by thy sword, from men by thy hand, O Jehovah, from men of the world, whose portion is in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy treasure. They are satisfied with children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. As for me, I shall behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with beholding thy form. End of Psalm 17. Psalm 18. For the chief musician, a psalm of David the servant of Jehovah, who spake unto Jehovah the words of this song in the day that Jehovah delivered him from the hand of all his enemies, and from the hand of Saul. And he said, I love thee, O Jehovah, my strength. Jehovah is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my rock in whom I will take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower. I will call upon Jehovah, who is worthy to be praised. so shall I be saved from mine enemies. The cords of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodliness made me afraid. The cords of Sheol were round about me, the snares of death came upon me. In my distress I called upon Jehovah, and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry before him came into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled, the foundations also of the mountains quaked and were shaken, because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and thick darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did fly. Yea, he soared upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his hiding place, his pavilion round about him. Darkness of waters, thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness before him his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. Jehovah also thundered in the heavens, and the Most High uttered his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. And he sent out his arrows and scattered them, yea, lightnings manifold, and discomfited them. Then the channels of waters appeared, and the foundations of the world were laid bare. At thy rebuke, O Jehovah, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. He sent from on high, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them that hated me, for they were too mighty for me. They came upon me in the day of my calamity, but Jehovah was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. Jehovah hath rewarded me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of Jehovah, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his ordinances were before me, and I put not away his statutes from me. I was also perfect with him, and I kept myself from mine iniquity. Therefore hath Jehovah recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful. With the perfect man thou wilt show thyself perfect. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure. And with the perverse thou wilt show thyself froward. For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but the haughty eyes thou wilt bring down. For thou wilt light my lamp. Jehovah my God will lighten my darkness. For by thee I run upon a troop, and by my God do I leap over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of Jehovah is tried. He is a shield unto all them that take refuge in him. For who is God save Jehovah? And who is a rock besides our God, the God that girdeth me with strength, and maketh my way perfect? He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon my high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that mine arms do bend a bow of brass. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holden me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, and my feet have not slipped. I will pursue mine enemies and overtake them, neither will I turn again till they are consumed. I will smite them through, so that they shall not be able to rise. They shall fall under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle. Thou hast subdued under me those that rose up against me. Thou hast also made mine enemies turn their backs unto me, that I might cut off them that hate me. They cried, but there was none to save, even unto Jehovah, but he answered them not. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the mire of the streets. Thou hast delivered me from the strivings of the people. Thou hast made me the head of the nations. A people whom I have not known shall serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The foreigners shall submit themselves unto me. The foreigners shall fade away, and shall come trembling out of their close places. Jehovah liveth, and blessed be my rock, and exalted be the God of my salvation, even the God that executeth vengeance for me, and subdueth peoples under me. He rescueth me from mine enemies. Yea, thou liftest me up above them that rise up against me. Thou deliverest me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks unto thee, O Jehovah, among the nations, and will sing praises unto thy name. Great deliverance giveth he to his king, and showeth lovingkindness to his anointed, to David, and to his seed, for evermore. End of Psalm 18. Psalm 19. For the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language, their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run his course. His going forth is from the end of the heavens, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. The law of Jehovah is perfect, restoring the soul. The testimony of Jehovah is sure, making wise the simple. The precepts of Jehovah are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of Jehovah is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of Jehovah is clean, enduring forever. The ordinances of Jehovah are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey, and the droppings of the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned. In keeping them there is great reward. Who can discern his errors? Clear thou me from hidden faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be clear from great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Jehovah, my rock and my redeemer. End of Psalm 19. Psalm 20. For the chief musician, a psalm of David. Jehovah answer thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob set thee upon high. Send thee help from the sanctuary, and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings, and accept thy burnt sacrifice. Selah. Grant thee thy heart's desire, and fulfill all thy counsel. We will triumph in thy salvation, and in the name of our God we will set up our banners. Jehovah, fulfill all thy petitions. Now know I that Jehovah saveth his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots, and some in horses, but we will make mention of the name of Jehovah our God. They are bowed down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Save, Jehovah, let the King answer us when we call. End of Psalm 20. Psalm 21. For the chief musician, a psalm of David. The king shall joy in thy strength, O Jehovah, and in thy salvation how greatly shall he rejoice. Thou hast given him his heart's desire, and hast not withholden the request of his lips. Selah. For thou meetest him with the blessings of goodness. Thou settest a crown of fine gold on his head. He asked life of thee, thou gavest it him, even length of days for ever and ever. His glory is great in thy salvation. Honor and majesty dost thou lay upon him, for thou makest him most blessed for ever. Thou makest him glad with joy in thy presence. For the king trusteth in Jehovah, and through the loving kindness of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thy hand will find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand will find out those that hate thee. Thou wilt make them as a fiery furnace in the time of thine anger. Jehovah will swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their fruit wilt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended evil against thee. They conceived a device which they are not able to perform. For thou wilt make them turn their back. Thou wilt make ready with thy bowstrings against their face. Be thou exalted, O Jehovah, in thy strength. So will we sing and praise thy power. End of Psalm 21. Psalm 22. For the chief musician, set to Azeleth-hash-shahar, a psalm of David. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me, and from the words of my groaning? O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou answerest not, and in the night season, and am not silent. But thou art holy, O thou that inhabitest the praises of Israel. Our fathers trusted in thee. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee, and were delivered. They trusted in thee, and were not put to shame. But I am a worm and no man, a reproach of men, and despised of the people. All they that see me laugh me to scorn. They shoot out the lip, they shake the head, saying, Commit thyself unto Jehovah. Let him deliver him, let him rescue him, seeing he delighteth in him. But thou art he that took me out of the womb. Thou didst make me trust when I was upon my mother's breasts. I was cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my God since my mother bare me. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. Many bulls have compassed me. Strong bulls of Bashan have beset me round. They gape upon me with their mouth, as a ravening and a roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax, it is melted within me. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue cleaveth to my jaws. And thou hast brought me into the dust of death. For dogs have compassed me, a company of evildoers have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. I may count all my bones. They look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them, and upon my vesture do they cast lots. But be not thou far off, O Jehovah. O thou my succor, haste thee to help me. Deliver my soul from the sword, my darling from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth, yea, from the horns of the wild oxen thou hast answered me. I will declare thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the assembly will I praise thee. Ye that fear Jehovah, praise him. All ye, the seed of Jacob, glorify him, and stand in awe of him, all ye, the seed of Israel. For he hath not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, neither hath he hid his face from him. But when he cried unto him, he heard. Of thee cometh my praise in the great assembly. I will pay my vows before them that fear him. The meek shall eat and be satisfied. They shall praise Jehovah that seek after him. Let your heart live for ever. All the ends of the earth shall remember and turn unto Jehovah, and all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before thee. For the kingdom is Jehovah's, and he is the ruler over the nations. All the fat ones of the earth shall eat and worship. All they that go down to the dust shall bow before him, even he that cannot keep his soul alive. A seed shall serve him. It shall be told of the Lord unto the next generation. They shall come and shall declare his righteousness unto a people that shall be born, that he hath done it. End of Psalm 22. Psalm 23, a psalm of David. Jehovah is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and lovingkindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Jehovah forever. End of Psalm 23. Psalm 24, a psalm of David. The earth is Jehovah's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of Jehovah? And who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto falsehood, and hath not sworn deceitfully. He shall receive a blessing from Jehovah, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek after him, that seek thy face, even Jacob. Selah. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory will come in. Who is the King of glory? Jehovah strong and mighty, Jehovah mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, yea, lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory will come in. Who is this King of glory? Jehovah of hosts, he is the King of glory. Selah. End of Psalm 24. Psalm 25, a psalm of David. Unto thee, O Jehovah, do I lift up my soul. O my God, in thee have I trusted. Let me not be put to shame. Let not mine enemies triumph over me. Yea, none that wait for thee shall be put to shame. They shall be put to shame that deal treacherously without cause. Show me thy ways, O Jehovah. Teach me thy paths. Guide me in thy truth, and teach me. For thou art the God of my salvation. For thee do I wait all the day. Remember, O Jehovah, thy tender mercies, and thy loving kindness, for they have been ever of old. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. According to thy loving kindness remember thou me, for thy goodness' sake, O Jehovah. Good and upright is Jehovah. Therefore will he instruct sinners in the way. The meek will he guide in justice, and the meek will he teach his way. All the paths of Jehovah are loving-kindness and truth unto such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. For thy name's sake, O Jehovah, pardon mine iniquity, for it is great. What man is he that feareth Jehovah? Him shall he instruct in the way that he shall choose. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the land. The friendship of Jehovah is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. Mine eyes are ever toward Jehovah, for he will pluck my feet out of the net. Turn thee unto me, and have mercy upon me, for I am desolate and afflicted. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. O bring thou me out of my distresses. Consider mine affliction and my travail, and forgive all my sins. Consider mine enemies, for they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be put to shame, for I take refuge in thee. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait for thee. Redeem Israel, O God, out of all his troubles. End of Psalm 25. Psalm 26, a Psalm of David. Judge me, O Jehovah, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in Jehovah without wavering. Examine me, O Jehovah, and prove me. Try my heart and my mind. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with men of falsehood, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I hate the assembly of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash my hands in innocency. So will I compass thine altar, O Jehovah, that I may make the voice of thanksgiving to be heard, and tell of all thy wondrous works. Jehovah, I love the habitation of thy house, and the place where thy glory dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with men of blood, in whose hands is wickedness, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me, and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless Jehovah. End of Psalm 26. Psalm 27, a Psalm of David. Jehovah is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Jehovah is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers came upon me to eat up my flesh, even mine adversaries and my foes, they stumbled and fell. Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, even then will I be confident. One thing have I asked of Jehovah, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Jehovah all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of Jehovah, and to inquire in his temple. For in the day of trouble he will keep me secretly in his pavilion. In the covert of his tabernacle will he hide me. He will lift me up upon a rock. And now shall my head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. And I will offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto Jehovah. Hear, O Jehovah, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me, and answer me. When thou saidst, Seek ye my face, my heart said unto thee, Thy face, Jehovah, will I seek. Hide not thy face from me. Put not thy servant away in anger. Thou hast been my help. Cast me not off, neither forsake me, O God of my salvation. When my father and my mother forsake me, then Jehovah will take me up. Teach me thy way, O Jehovah, and lead me in a plain path, because of mine enemies. Deliver me not over unto the will of mine adversaries, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of Jehovah in the land of the living. Wait for Jehovah, be strong, and let thy heart take courage. Yea, wait thou for Jehovah. End of Psalm 27. Psalm 28, a Psalm of David. Unto thee, O Jehovah, will I call. My rock, be not thou deaf unto me, lest, if thou be silent unto me, I become like them that go down into the pit. Hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. Draw me not away with the wicked, and with the workers of iniquity, that speak peace with their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their work, and according to the wickedness of their doings. Give them after the operation of their hands. Render to them their desert. Because they regard not the works of Jehovah, nor the operation of his hands, he will break them down, and not build them up. Blessed be Jehovah, because he hath heard the voice of my supplications. Jehovah is my strength and my shield. My heart hath trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth, and with my song will I praise him. Jehovah is their strength, and he is a stronghold of salvation to his anointed. Save thy people, and bless thine inheritance. Be their shepherd also, and bear them up forever. End of Psalm 28. Psalm 29, a Psalm of David. Ascribe unto Jehovah, O ye sons of the mighty. Ascribe unto Jehovah glory and strength. Ascribe unto Jehovah the glory due unto his name. Worship Jehovah in holy array. The voice of Jehovah is upon the waters. The God of glory thundereth, even Jehovah upon many waters. The voice of Jehovah is powerful. The voice of Jehovah is full of majesty. The voice of Jehovah breaketh the cedars. Yea, Jehovah breaketh in pieces the cedars of Lebanon. He maketh them also to skip like a calf. Lebanon and Syrian like a young wild ox. The voice of Jehovah cleaveth the flames of fire. The voice of Jehovah shaketh the wilderness. Jehovah shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of Jehovah maketh the hinds to calve, and strippeth the forests bare. And in his temple everything saith, Glory. Jehovah sat as king at the flood. Yea, Jehovah sitteth as king forever. Jehovah will give strength unto his people. Jehovah will bless his people with peace. End of Psalm 29. Psalm 30. A psalm, a song at the dedication of the house, a psalm of David. I will extol thee, O Jehovah, for thou hast raised me up, and hast not made my foes to rejoice over me. O Jehovah my God, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me. O Jehovah, thou hast brought up my soul from Sheol. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. Sing praise unto Jehovah, O ye saints of his, and give thanks to his holy memorial name. For his anger is but for a moment, his favor is for a lifetime. Weeping may tarry for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. As for me, I said in my prosperity, I shall never be moved. Thou, Jehovah, of thy favor, hadst made my mountain to stand strong. Thou didst hide thy face. I was troubled. I cried to thee, O Jehovah, and unto Jehovah I made supplication. What profit is there in my blood when I go down to the pit? Shall the dust praise thee? Shall it declare thy truth? Hear, O Jehovah, and have mercy upon me. Jehovah, be thou my helper. Thou hast turned for me my mourning into dancing. Thou hast loosed my sackcloth, and girded me with gladness, to the end that my glory may sing praise to thee, and not be silent. O Jehovah my God, I will give thanks unto thee forever. End of Psalm 30. Psalm 31, for the chief musician, a psalm of David. In thee, O Jehovah, do I take refuge. Let me never be put to shame. Deliver me in thy righteousness. Bow down thine ear unto me. Deliver me speedily. Be thou to me a strong rock, a house of defense to save me. For thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me. Pluck me out of the net that they have laid privily for me, for thou art my stronghold. Into thy hand I commend my spirit. Thou hast redeemed me, O Jehovah, thou God of truth. I hate them that regard lying vanities, but I trust in Jehovah. I will be glad and rejoice in thy loving kindness, for thou hast seen my affliction. Thou hast known my soul in adversities, and thou hast not shut me up into the hand of the enemy. Thou hast set my feet in a large place. Have mercy upon me, O Jehovah, for I am in distress. Mine eye wasteth away with grief, yea, my soul and my body. For my life is spent with sorrow, and my years with sighing. My strength faileth because of mine iniquity, and my bones are wasted away. Because of all mine adversaries I am become a reproach, yea, unto my neighbors exceedingly, and a fear to mine acquaintance. They that did see me without fled from me. I am forgotten as a dead man out of mind. I am like a broken vessel. For I have heard the defaming of many, terror on every side. While they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life. But I trusted in thee, O Jehovah. I said, Thou art my God. My times are in thy hand. Deliver me from the hand of mine enemies, and from them that persecute me. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant. Save me in thy loving kindness. Let me not be put to shame, O Jehovah, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be put to shame. Let them be silent in Sheol. Let the lying lips be dumb, which speak against the righteous insolently, with pride and contempt. O how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that take refuge in thee, before the sons of men. In the covert of thy presence wilt thou hide them from the plottings of man. Thou wilt keep them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of tongues. Blessed be Jehovah, for he hath showed me his marvelous loving kindness in a strong city. As for me, I said in my haste, I am cut off from before thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my supplications when I cried unto thee. O love Jehovah, all ye his saints. Jehovah preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth him that dealeth proudly. Be strong, and let your heart take courage, all ye that hope in Jehovah. End of Psalm 31. Psalm 32, a Psalm of David, Maskil. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom Jehovah imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. When I kept silence, my bones wasted away through my groaning all the day long. For day and night thy hand was heavy upon me. My moisture was changed as with the drought of summer. Selah. I acknowledged my sin unto thee, and mine iniquity did I not hide. I said, I will confess my transgressions unto Jehovah, and thou forgavest the iniquity of my sin. Selah. For this let every one that is godly pray unto thee in a time when thou mayest be found. Surely when the great waters overflow, they shall not reach unto him. Thou art my hiding place. Thou wilt preserve me from trouble. Thou wilt compass me about with songs of deliverance. Selah. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will counsel thee with mine eye upon thee. Be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose trappings must be bit and bridle to hold them in, else they will not come near unto thee. Many sorrows shall be to the wicked, but he that trusteth in Jehovah, loving kindness shall compass him about. Be glad in Jehovah, and rejoice, ye righteous, and shout for joy, all ye that are upright in heart. End of Psalm 32. Psalm 33. Rejoice in Jehovah, O ye righteous. Praise is comely for the upright. Give thanks unto Jehovah with the harp. Sing praises unto him with a psaltery of 10 strings. Sing unto him a new song. Play skillfully with a loud noise. For the word of Jehovah is right, and all his work is done in faithfulness. He loveth righteousness and justice. The earth is full of the loving kindness of Jehovah. By the word of Jehovah were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth. He gathereth the waters of the sea together as a heap. He layeth up the deeps in storehouses. Let all the earth fear Jehovah. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. For he spake, and it was done. He commanded, and it stood fast. Jehovah bringeth the counsel of the nations to naught. He maketh the thoughts of the peoples to be of no effect. The counsel of Jehovah standeth fast forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is Jehovah, the people whom he hath chosen for his own inheritance. Jehovah looketh from heaven, he beholdeth all the sons of men. From the place of his habitation he looketh forth upon all the inhabitants of the earth. He that fashioneth the hearts of them all, that considereth all their works. There is no king saved by the multitude of a host. A mighty man is not delivered by great strength. A horse is a vain thing for safety. Neither doth he deliver any by his great power. Behold, the eye of Jehovah is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his loving kindness, to deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul hath waited for Jehovah. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. Let thy loving kindness, O Jehovah, be upon us, according as we have hoped in thee. End of Psalm 33.